So one of the things, and this will sound crazy to people, that I admire and love about Jesus the most. Yeah, if you don't believe in Jesus or going, oh God, or rolling my eyes, move on. There's just no point. But it's something that most people maybe, it's not your typical things that everybody thinks, oh, he died for our sins, this and yeah, I get all that. I'm not trying to minimize any of that. But it's that he's the only man in history that that went to the average people, not special interest groups, not the church special interest or the government, Roman Empire special interest. No, just the everyday person that wasn't in a union. Yeah, I get they didn't have unions back then, but I'm sure they had clubs. Not that he wouldn't go to them, but he knew the people that wouldn't hear him. And it's the same thing now. It's why it's the repeating story. Every politician on the left and the right, the people that they will give attention to are and then they will carry on that they care about the average person when it's all just a game. And Jesus was the only one that actually could do it. I mean, that actually literally did it. And here's something else. Let me say this, is you really could look at Jesus as racist. I'm not saying that as a slur. And not racist by color. But yeah, there was a certain sect of people that he may have loved, but it was like, no, I don't. If you don't believe in my Father, then I pray for you, and would try, right? But I mean, so you really could see it. So for everybody that wants to carry on about all this inclusiveness, not even Jesus himself was so inclusive that anything and everything was allowed. Just saying. I'm not saying Jesus is a racist in an evil way. I'm saying that there were boundaries. There were boundaries. And those boundaries had nothing to do with skin color. It was about wickedness. Those that wanted to follow wickedness or follow him. I think it's very obvious that still plays out today. He didn't care about the wealth of somebody. He didn't place the wealth of somebody up as some, that they know better than the poor person. He didn't place the people with fame as, because you could look at, everybody in the Roman Empire, or your governors of it, Pontius Pilate, the fame is that they knew better than the people, or somebody who didn't have any fame or was a nobody. I often call the disciples the nobodies, because that's what they were. They were just hardworking people that, yes, they knew they were sinners, but they were open enough to see the truth. Where all the other people that were so educated, that thought so highly of themselves, could not see it. Wouldn't be. He knew who to go to. And so he's the only man in history that actually bypassed special interest groups. Whatever those were back in the day. If you wanted, I'm part of the Roman Empire. I'm part of the church. I think that Jesus saw both as special interest groups, and that's the reason he went to just the everyday people. And so that's one of the things that I admire most about Jesus, because when you have so many associations and unions and LGBTQ rights, BLM rights. There's so many. There's teachers unions, teachers associations, science. Then Jesus knew even back then, even before there was all of that, That he's like, no, I'm going to go to the people that nobody else goes to, that nobody else pays attention to, that nobody else thinks is smart. And even today, I don't care if it's Republican or Democrat, they do the same thing. They go to all, they serve the special interests. They do. If a union, if a bunch of, look at the auto workers, and I'm not trying to put down the auto workers, okay? I'm just saying that somebody like me who's not in a union, and look at my own profession even has blackballed me by blacklisting me off of their Twitter account. American Nurses Association, who sets the standard of care for nursing. But it's like you get these people that control all these union members and get them to strike and do all this, and it's really serving those people at the top. And all the politicians fall for it, right? Because it's a big group of people that I can get attention now for. But somebody like me that has been speaking up, or contacted the federal government about things, or the state government about this is wrong or that's wrong. And I don't mean complaining, but I mean things literally that, like our security, and nothing. So I don't have faith in the political system anymore. I don't have faith in the justice system anymore, because I saw it didn't care what it did to me. But I think most people that are like me, that's how it is. It's like that's a lot of the reason why people don't fight. That's a lot of the reason why people end up staying silent, is because my own dad told me not to fight the whole thing with the DC with Illinois Nurses Association, and that the thing they did to that 15-year-old kid, okay, back in the day. And I was so mad about it, because I'm like, no, I'm doing the right thing. But he was trying to protect me at the same time, knowing that when you're up against City Hall, you can't win against it. They'll destroy you. And yet that's not right. And I know that we can give all these examples of how things aren't right, but through all the years of going back and forth with what they did to me and what they did to that kid, which to most people would seem like, what's the big deal? No, it's a big deal. It's how everything becomes unraveled. It's how every single politician in Washington ends up being whores for special interest groups. I'm going to go out and I'm going to stand with the union workers. Okay. What about people like me that aren't in a union? I guess we don't matter. Yeah, American Nurses Association's already decided my fate, right? Because, I'm not part of their union. Or I'm not part of their, I'm not going along with the agenda like I'm supposed to, huh? So, that's why I don't have any faith in anybody but God. Because there's really nobody on this planet I trust. As far as politically speaking, I just don't. They can say good things, they can pull you in, you can believe them, okay? But the fact of the matter is it's never been about the people that aren't in a union. It's never been about the people that are paycheck to paycheck, that have been speaking up or have been trying. It's always that I am the people they want to silence, because I am the real voice. I'm not saying I'm the only voice, but I am the real voice. The nursing union, they can carry on all they want to, okay? The auto workers union, yeah, they'll get all their attention, they'll get all their demands met, because they'll publicly get all this attention, right? And then all of those special interest groups drowned out the everyday people like me. Yeah, I guess that means, I should go running to a union? No thanks. I tried that. Saw how that worked out real well. I saw, what those attorneys are like. No thanks, want no part of it. And besides, they're a special interest group, no different than every other special interest group, no different than LGBTQ. That's why they all stand together. But who they stand together against is people like me. And the politicians will never see people like me. But Jesus did. And that's why he'll always be the biggest hero.